Good day, lords and ladies, and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity with me, Cornish-Knight, as we continue the epic adventures of Gwen Ravenheart and Space Pig. They have been joined by Alof, the mage, and Rose, the rogue, as we continue on with our adventures now. Before we go anywhere, she's got scale armor. That's fine. I wanted to take the crossbow out. Give her a range option. What are her skills? Abilities, blind strike, minor threat, so there's less likelihood of people seeing her. Yeah, 10% chance to hit converted to critical when attacking a target as the same target as an ally. She has sneak attack. When a target is blinded, flanked, hobbled, paralysed, petrified, prone, or stuck, or stunned or weakened, as well as when the target is stuck with 2 seconds of combat. Yeah, sneak attack. Right. So she's basically ready. We had a job from the owner here, from Pesca, to find out what happened. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't realise that. So I meant to say we had a job in the journal. Vision Whispers. Right, we escaped the ruins. There we go. Tasks. Late for dinner. Black Hound Inn and Gilded Vale has lost its beloved cook. We had to find out what happened to him. We also... So I saw the difficulty thing up on the loading screen. It's interesting to see that the difficulties increase the amount and types of enemies that turn up. And only on the truly highest difficulties does it actually change their statistics, which is really nice to see. Right, so I'm pretty sure I know where the caravan is. It was the one that was broken down with potatoes and stuff. So I want to go and check that out. And since it will be a nice kick-off to the episode, let's do that. It will take you 8 hours to complete your journey from Goodvale to the Vale Wood. Like, time in this game moves on. Right. So we're into night time, eh? He's gone. There's some reeds over there I didn't pick up. Right, okay. Right. I'm pretty sure the bandits we came into contact with had something to do with him disappearing. Ah, more reeds. Before they'd collected them all. Yeah, this is definitely his cart. So, Space Pig, where do you think we need to go? Gwen sort of like looks around, like wiping the water off her armour and just muttering angrily. I think it's this way, that's where they are. Ten-fifth. The young dwarf tending to the stew looks up, startled, sees you approach. He drops his ladle, splattering stew across the ground. The bandit, what? The bandit turns. Get her, you dogs. Make sure our new cook doesn't run off. Ten-fifth, please help. Help. One of the bandits gives Ten-fifth a kick as they pass him, and he huddles over. Right. So what do we have? Found the flames. He's only got 3 spells. Right. He needs to get here. Gwen Ravenheart, you go for this one. You blind him.
Yes.
Ooh. Someone interrupted our hit. Yes, he's hobbled. That's not good. And she interrupted Rose. Magic missile him. Right. Gwen critical hit that bloke and literally, yeah, crit outlaw and he blew to pieces. You keep stabbing him. You smack him. What else do we have? Another magical missile probably would do it. And then... Ooh, he's really putting up a fight. But now he's dead. Her endurance just took a pounding. Nothing too bad. We'll chuck it all in the pot. And a cape. And a hood. I don't think she can wear hoods because she's got horns. Right, so we'll gather her. But yeah. Gwen sort of like wipes the blood off her armor. Grab the veggies. Rice. Poultry. Ooh, fresh poultry ready for the pot. Grab the fruit.
Just say the word.
Welcome.
10/5. By the flame, thank you, thank you, thank you. I thought I'd be stuck cooking for these ingrate weasels for the rest of my life, or until they were bored with me, I suppose. Mutters the dwarf in front of you. Did Pascal send you? She must be beside herself. I must get back at once. But listen, the next time you're in Gilded Vale, make sure to drop by the Black Hound. I'll let her know what you've done for me, and I'll sure she'll do right by you in turn. To be back at my oven again. You have earned reputation. Reputation can be held with communities or factions in the Eastern Reach, and will affect how members of that group respond to you. In some cases, friends or enemies of those groups will also react to your affiliations. Helping a group will increase your positive reputation with that group. Harming a group will have a negative implications, and negative reputation with a group will help you harm them in equal measure. Right, so we got 552 XP. Party reputation, Gilded Vale, ally, faintly good. So we got our reputation from Gilded Vale has increased because we've helped these guys out.
Can do.
That's good to know. The tent is empty, but a pair of stained cots and stink of... The tent is empty, but for a pair of stained cots and the stink of unwashed bodies. Okay. Can't do anything with that. So we'll rush back this way. And we rescue the cook from a life of drudgery. Right. It will take us another 8 hours to get back. Our health is a bit down. Not too much though. Let's get back to the pub. Really don't want to go into those ruins. Right. People outside the tavern. Careful if you head east. Guards patrol the eastern wood, but not the Black Meadow. Feels like we've been seeing more bandits along the road recently. Okay. We've been to Defiance Bay, Black Hound Inn. Right here. With the roads like they are, stay put. Right, so they're discussing that. The windows are clouded with haze of accumulated smoke and cooking grease. Ah, that's cool. So, like, it's raining as always. Gwen sort of lets out a sigh as the party sort of trudges into the establishment. Alright, let's go and talk with the inn owner.
Welcome.
Oh, hello there and welcome to the Innkeeper Looks. Oh, it's you. 10th told us what you did for him. It's such a relief to have him back. I can't thank you enough. Consider yourselves favourite of the house. Discounts on drinks, rooms. 10th said he wanted to whip up something nice for you. He's already back at work in the kitchen. She laughs. So what would you like? I'd like to know more about the Black Hound, you inquire as you wipe the water from, well, as you hear the water steaming from your flaming hair. Really? Well, let me see. The actual building's been here for years, but the Black Hound's fairly new. We've got a lot of new faces in here too, fewer than we used to, I'll admit. Party gains 1,107 XP, total quest experience 1,659 XP. Tennis is a big draw. I'm sure we'll get a big crowd back again in no time. I used to work the tables actually until the old owner up and left. Nobody saw what happened to him, even it left his own poor hound behind. That's the name, see, the Black Hound. I'm still sitting upstairs, pining after him, poor old girl. Place ended up in my hands somehow. She laughed sadly. My very own inn, a lot of hard work involved, but it's worth it so far. Please sit where you like. Would you like a drink or a room? We have 2 available at the moment. I'm afraid we can't afford much by the way of a good meal today, she sighs, unless you're fan of cold porridge. Let's see what you have for sale. So, that's the stuff we sold them. Yeah, so basically it's... But now they've got all this lovely food on the menu. We can make some of it ourselves, obviously. Ooh, and they've got healing potions. Darkest rotai cakes. Rivaled by only by the Adrians and their love of sweet things, the rotai count many delicious desserts and rich treats amongst their famed recipes. One of the most revered by wealthy connoisseurs around the known world is the darkest rotai chocolate cookies. It became a courtesy gift amongst rotai ambassadors, with many foreign dignitaries warmly receiving any rotai dignitary delegation simply in hopes of receiving a batch of these revered treats. Ah, that's cool. Constitution. We actually need to be well, eating stuff more, to be honest. So that reminds me, what's in my inventory that I want to get rid of? Lockpicks. Probably want to dump some of these things. I don't need as many of them. Right. Right, okay, so that's... So we leveled up. Excellent. Both myself and the maid leveled up. That's excellent to know.
Huh?
How much experience do we need until he levels up? Or she levels up, I should say. 2 rows levels up. A fair amount, to be honest. Okay. So, let's see, skills. Where do I want to put skills in? I've got the wizard, he's got laws better than me. Athletics probably needs to be upped. And definitely survival. Actually, do I want... What's level 2 receive? Healing multiplier, bonus movement. What's... That's improves my improves my second wind ability. This allows me to use scrolls. Actually, I'll save on to my other points left for now. So what we can get paladin abilities, lay on hand. What's this? Fueled solely by belief, the paladin is able to heal with a touch of his or her hands, recovering substantial amount of endurance for the paladin or any ally within range. Zealous focus. The paladin intense and pure conviction instills clarity of purpose in him or her and all allies, increasing the accuracy and converting a portion of graces to hits. Cannot be active with other zeal auras. Zeal charge. Inspires the paladin or nearby allies to charge first into battle, increasing their movement speed and disengagement defense. Cannot be activated with other zealous auras. So that's increases the defense when disengaging, and movement speed. Zealous endurance. Fills the paladin and his or her allies with unshakable confidence, increasing their damage reduction and converting a portion of incoming hits to grazes. Cannot be active with other zealous auras. Friendly aura, plus 3 damage reduction, plus 15% to incoming hits converted to grazes. This improves accuracy in terms of grazes to hits. So this is defensive. That one's offensive. Let's go with this one. Zeal of focus. Okay. So she has that.
Just say the word.
I should probably turn that on. Actually, no. Is it on? It is now. Okay. So everyone has the damage reduction plus 1 to damage reduction there. So yeah, so they have the zeal focus improves, so it means they're more likely to hit and more likely to have higher accuracy as well, which is always useful. A good offense is the best defense. So now we go over to Alof, level 3 wizard, right? Probably want to. He's got really bad. So we can grant second wind, which is useful. We could increase his stealth. Actually, I probably want to increase his stealth, to be honest. His lore is really high. I'll get survival 1 because it gives him the damage reduction when we're resting. And then I got 4 points left over, and I'll put it into lore. So it means that higher lore values allow your character to use higher skills. So he should be able to use level 4 scrolls. Yeah, that's good. So he's going to be my lore expert. Wizards have access to a variety of offensive and personal defensive spells. Unlike priests and druids, wizards learn individual spells that are stored in and cast directly from their grimoires. Grimoires can only hold 4 spells of each spell level, which motivates wizards to keep multiple grimoires for different needs. Every 2 levels, wizards gain access to additional sets of spells. However, they can automatically learn 1 spell of any level they can access each turn they advance. Wizards also have the opportunity to learn spells from grimoires they find or buy. Initially, their spells can be cast at a limited number of times per rest. As wizards gain power, the weaker spells eventually shift per encounter use. Right, so these are level 1 spells. Chill Fog. There's some really nice ones. Parasitic Staff. Eldritch Aim, that improves accuracy. Fleet of Foot, improves movement. Right, so I'll leave it here so you guys can read the description. That's the effects. Area of effect, 13 to 19 freeze damage, blinded for 4 seconds, accuracy, plus 10 versus fortitude. Okay, this one is creates a glowing quarterstaff of pure energy, summons a weapon. Yeah, basically summons his staff, which he then used to beat people with for a minute. Eldritch Aim, as said above, grants the caster overworldly sight, so that improves his accuracy. Fleet of Foot is self-explanatory, improves 20% defense when disengaging and plus movement. Ghost Blade calls Field of Unearthly Blades into existence, inflicting immediate piercing damage and hobbling effect on targets. And hobbling is basically dexterity is reduced by 2, movement by 1.5, and reflexes by 20. And it does between 21 and 32 piercing damage. That's nice. Jolting Touch. A bolt of electricity jumps from one caster's fingers to the nearest enemy and then to the next one, causing decreasing amount of shock damage. That's... yeah, but it has to be... it's got a pretty short range, and then it decreases over time. Slicken, coats the ground and slick oily-like substance, inflicting knockdown on anyone in the area. That might be useful. Spirit Shield surrounds the caster in a shield of spiritual energy, granting increased damage reduction and bonus to concentration. That's not bad. And concentration is used for characters casting magic. Frost of the Tattered Veil, a quick strike or crossing force dealing little damage but having a high chance of directing enemy spellcasters, so that's anti-magic. And we have a whole host of stuff in here like Bewildering Spectacle, confuses the enemy, Binding Web, they basically gives them, especially a web attack, sticks people so they can't move. Bullock against the elements, gives elemental resistance. 15 damage reduction to the elemental damage types. Combusting Wounds, 5 points of burn damage over time when dealt damage for... and it deals damage within dealt damage for 26 seconds. Every time they're wounded, so it's basically stacking damage. Cohorts, Corrosive Siphon, each aware target's spirit inflicting corrosive damage and converting their essence into endurance for the spellcaster. So that's not too bad, but that's only 5 meters. Curse of the Blackened Sight, blinded for basically half a minute. Not bad, and it's an area of effect as well. Fetid Caress, target becomes paralysed. Afflicted with boiling pustules or foul-smelling liquid that erupt from the skin, sickening those nearby. 6 meter radius, area of effect. Target plus basically about 2 meters. Paralysed for 10 seconds, and people are sickened. A second character has all the fortitude reduced to 1. Yeah, that's pretty damn nasty. Infused with life, that's basically healing. Yeah, that's a healing spell. Merciless Gaze. 15% of hits converted to criticals for 1 minute. That's pretty powerful, but we need a lot of attacks to go off in that time for it to be more than anything else. Dull-mindedness, perception, intelligence, and resolve are reduced. That's not too bad. Mirror Image creates duplicates of the caster to distract enemies, granting a high deflection bonus, which is reduced with each hit taken. Necrotic Lance creates a large and pure necrotic energy, causing corrosion damage instantly and over time. That's nice. Ray of Fire creates a scorching ray of flame between the caster and the target, inflicting burn damage to the target, anyone caught in the ray. Rolling Flames, creates a rebounding ball of fire, inflicting burn damage on anyone in its path. That's not bad. Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the healing one, which could be useful, and I'll grab the slick one because I'm pretty sure we can set stuff on fire in this. Having a healing spell would be useful in combat only, yeah. Right, so there we go.
Yes.
He's got healing wounds, yeah, that'd be useful. Right, so give her the hood. Give her the robe. He's got a hood on, but since we are in the dry wood, it would be probably good. All assassin-like. Right. Odin's up to snuff.
Just say the word.
And the benefit is we healed up as well, which is excellent.
Leave it to me.
Some kind of brown slop is congealing in these dishes. It smells burnt. Okay, so that's... How do you burn porridge? Okay, that's stealing if we take that. And then it's 10th is there. 10th, ah, it's you, my saviours. He makes a sweeping gesture to indicate the kitchen around him. It's good to be back. Do not think I will let you go unrewarded. I have decided that you have earned the right to learn one of my most closely guarded secrets, my dearest recipe. After this, you will eat nothing else. The party has gained the recipe savoury pie. A savoury pie to keep you hale and hearty. May it serve you well in your travels. So what, do we get a new recipe? Food. Oh, we can actually make Duke's own beef loaf. Beef loaf is a standalone dish all across the Deerwood. Hundreds of families have been using the same recipe for generations. No one is quite sure how it came to be known as the Duke's own, but two legends are widespread. The first involves Aldmouth Hardret, the Deerwood's first Duke, personally making beef loaf for his captive prisoner, the Glenfarthing Galvin Regged. The Orland was supposedly so fond of the meal that he asked for the recipe and passed it on to his kin after his release. The second, more likely tale features an unscrupulous cook who worked for the vulnerable Black Hound Inn of Gilded Vale. She confided in the myriad travellers that she had a recipe for the Duke's own loaf, beef loaf, simply her own this recipe, and sold it to dozens of people for outrageous prices. Each victim of the ruse went on to make their beef loaf with the Duke's own recipe, giving the rise to the popular name. Oh, cool. So that's plus 10 endurance, that's plus 10 to endurance, max endurance, and plus 10 to might for 300 seconds. That's pretty damn good. Peelwood chicken. So that's endurance, and that's this constitution. This is in might. Peelwood chicken is common amongst settlers along the Pearl Coast and Defiance Bay, but popular has not spread far north or abroad. Locals claim that the dwarves of Talanir were responsible for inventing the dish, given its oddly assembled of ingredients, often a notable feature of the dwarven cuisine. Many are inclined to accept the claim as face value. There are rumours that the Duke of Orza has become fond of the Peelwood chicken, supposedly using grey beast chickens imported, liver and all the way from Old Val to suit his particular taste. As this is not yet popular in the Valan Republic, citizens of all Orzea are not sure if they should try to emulate the Duke's rumoured styles or vigorously deny it as foreign. We can make a savoury pie. Delicious smelling pie with a golden crust and a meat filled, guaranteed to leave anyone feeling battle ready. Well, that is actually pretty good. So let's craft one, Sal. We only need one of each of things, so we can't make that. We could make the chicken as well. Let's craft that. I take it, yeah, we need the stew. Ah, well. So we do some cooking. We have to remember to actually eat it. We could make a potion of iron skin. That's interesting. Anything else? No. That reminds me, do we have anything that we can actually craft yet? Or sorry, enchant, I should say. Nope. Okay. That's the same. Might of perception. That's damage reduction. We'll put some of these on our quick items. Savoury pie. We'll put one of the milks on there as well. He needs to buy some of his own milk. I don't think I can split it, unfortunately. He could have two in there, and he can have one milk. Right, there we go. Okay. So we made some pies. Spoons hang by the fireplace, coated in brownish gunk.
Yeah.
Okay, we can't take anything there because it's stealing. Gotta have a look around the inn. Ooh, there's something here. Give those on. Right, so there's lots of villagers. Nice and dry in here. Feels like we've been seeing more bandits on the roads. Good to see faces around. Feels like the village is getting smaller by the day. Just come into town. Kiff like you seem to do alright. Right, villagers, drunkard. Right. Thought this place was going under after the owner left, but it's holding out. And who are you then? Another fool come to answer Redrick's invitation, splutters the drunkard. Our great lord had my sister run out of town after the boy was born. She was the only family I had left, not so where she is now. Blazes a need of a drink. And there's stuff at the table. Interesting. Okay, what's this? Potion of Wizard's Double. Plus 40 deflection until hit or critically hit. Creates duplicate. Okay, yeah, so he'll take that. So let's keep going. Whoa, what's happening? Strewn Brightblade. As you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of the man's soul. Voices from the past seem to call out to you. Gwen sort of like staggers until they see grass ahead, reach out for the soul. You see a group of young men standing around the makeshift practice target. This man stands in the middle of them, explaining the construction and use of a bow. He holds it up, pointing at each part as he speaks about it, and what it does. He then walks away from the target, telling them to remain where they are, and takes his place about 200 feet away. He carefully lines up his shot, explaining what he is doing as he does, and lets the arrow fly. He hits the target dead centre, much to the surprise and delight of the boys near it. He smiles, walking towards the boys, talking about proper stance and how to most effectively hold a bow. A noise comes from the tree line near the practice venue, and he stops, scanning the woods, blue eyes squinting against the sun. A shadow moves, making its way through the forest behind them. He draws now and lines up a shot, carefully tracking the motion of the hidden creature. Loosing the arrow, he wastes no time and quickly grabs another. The boys spin, watching the arrow fly into the forest, immediately lost amongst the trees. There's a sudden explosive movement in the young grove. A deer erupts from the tree line, running across the edge of the clearing. The boys laugh, turning to joke with the man about his lousy shot. They stop talking, seeing him holding a bow and leading the deer with a knocked arrow. They drop to the ground as he looses the last arrow, which flies true and strikes the deer right behind the shoulder blades, piercing its heart and lungs, and dropping it dead almost immediately. The boys stare at the deer for a few seconds and slowly turn and look at the man, newfound respect in their eyes. He smiles again and breathes a quiet sigh of relief. What was that? Gwyn sort of like grabs her head and sort of staggers back, not quite sure what she's just witnessed. So she reaches out to the person next to her and does exactly the same thing. You see a woman emptying her satchel onto her bed, taking stock of her inventory. Potions, bandages, tinctures and herbs are scattered throughout the room. Haphazardly, she bites her lip, head tilted to the side, considering. She begins to repack one item after the other, carefully, deliberately undercut by shaking hands. Each item has a clearly marked place, but no matter how she repacks it, she isn't satisfied. Shaking worsens as she empties it out once more, one hand held to her mouth. Tears eke from her eyes as she gives up all semblance of order and shoves everything she can into satchel, grabbing it, running out of the bare house. Straightening her back, she walks to the docks, chin high, eyes hard and red, and a gangly young elf officer offers her condolences, but she can't see him for the ocean ahead of her. She wanders the docks, offering her services as a doctor to any who would listen. Anyone heading out on the high tide. Less than an hour later, she watches her childhood disappear in the distance, a tiny speck of an island, and tries not to jump. Whew, okay, that's strange. Let's get upstairs. Carouser. Grab a drink, friend. No, not much else worth in this town. Says the woman from Thirin. Hey, we said we wouldn't mention Thirin. Right. Grab a drink, friend. Right, so, okay. So they're going to repeat that. Roaches scatter and flee under the crates. Right, so who's this? Cilia, Amin, Sane, Sakes, Mulren, Deslok, Najat. Right, so what's in here? Crammed behind the book is a drawing of Sol's ethos and Lord Redrick in compromising position. Ha! Right, what's on the table? Dry wood, a history. Okay, I'll take that to read. Right.
Yeah?
She can pick it.
I've got it. Finished.
It's unlocked. Padded armor, duelist hat, and a rapier. So it's nothing great, but still, everything's.
Just say the word.
Every little penny helps. We shall read the book in a bit. Just want to have a look at the rooms first. Right, so that's where we are. Yeah, okay. In guest. Please leave me be. I'm full of sickness with what I've seen of this place and its people. 10 years of dawn. And it's going to be illegal to pick that. Okay, fine. Well, that's the Black Hound. The Black Hound. The hound stares intently at the covered window, head cocked, as if waiting to hear a particular sound. He looks up. It looks up when you approach and whines a low note, its tail wagging slightly. Sorry, girl, I don't think he's coming back. I could use a good dog here, girl. Pet the dog. I could use a good dog here, girl. Dog ears pick up, he trots over to you and barks happily. You've gained an item, the Black Hound, added to your inventory. Well, that's awesome. The Black Hound. This small dog has a glossy black coat and affordable disposition. She trots along at her heels, gazing devotedly whenever you come to a stop. So they're basically both the same thing, they don't have any effects, but I'd have to trade out to Space Pig. Space Pig! He can't have pets. Oh dear. I already have Space Pig. I will keep the Black Hound on us for now. Maybe he can unlock pets. But I like Space Pig. Oh dear. Okay. Maybe we can sell it. Oh, she can travel with us, so it'll just be like, I'll keep her in my backpack. The bone's covered in tiny bite marks. It's better for her to come with us than stay here and basically die of boredom and loneliness. Right. This is going to be a good place to stop, methinks. So we have acquired a new pet. Like, Gwen sort of strokes the little little black terrier and sort of gives it a cuddle. Space Pig gives it a snort, and the two seem to be getting on. So now, with a new companion added to the mix, Space Pig and the Black Hound will accompany Gwen Ravenheart on her continued quest for fame and fortune in the next episode of Pillars of Eternity. I've been Cornish-Knight. This has been Pillars of Eternity, and I shall see you all next time, folks. Goodbye.